What's up, guys? George back again for another LP and CD update. This one's for June 23rd, 2013. Been about 3 weeks or so since I did my last update. Haven't been out picking too much. Although I did get, over the last 3 weeks I got a bunch of different things. Kind of like a, getting them all in one shot. A lot of this stuff is from Shady Dog. Picked up a few things at work, nothing major. Went through a couple pallets again. I think they're about done now, so I think I cleaned out the dollar LPs. But just kind of trying to be a little more picky right now, because second week in July is our trip again to go out to the Jersey Shore. I always hit up a few of the record stores down there, so I'm trying to save the money for that. Anyways, I got quite a few things here. I'll try and talk in depth about some of it, but other things like the dollar ones I'll just go blow through. So let's start off with the LPs and we'll go from there. First up, I got more American Graffiti. Never saw this movie, but like American Graffiti takes place in the 50s, this takes place in the 60s. So it has a nice 60s compilation to it, with the Byrds and Simon and Garfunkel, Donovan, Cream, Dylan, Aretha Franklin, Question Mark and the Mysterians, just stuff like that. Pretty cool. I might check out the movie. I heard the movie wasn't very good, but Secondly, I got the another dollar one I got is the Hollywood Project from Kennedy, Feinstein, Bordenaro, and Caudill, which is actually known as the Rods. This was put out in 1986 on Passport Records. It's basically a Rods album, a side project. I think I only had an MP3 of this, so this was still sealed, so I was happy to get that. They're all sporadic as far as the used ones. I'll try and keep the new ones separate. But next up is Vendetta, Go and Live, or Stay and Die. I haven't listened to this yet, but pretty cool. Pretty cool metal piece. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. I know there's a couple different bands called Vendetta, so I'm not sure which version. Like I said, I haven't listened to it yet. So next up is MX Machine. This Manic Panic. Look at that label. No Glam Fags. That's nice. All metal, no makeup. Produced by Joey Vera from Armored Saint. Haven't checked this out yet, but I thought that looked kind of interesting, but we'll see. I think they were some of the only ones I picked up at work. The rest is the Shady Dog stuff. Here's a few more from work. An upgraded Night Rangers Dawn Patrol. Pretty killer. It's a good record. Victory, Don't Get Mad, Get Even. Always liked this band, especially the early stuff. I was happy to find that one. Oz, Fire in the Brain. This one was the vinyl's in mint condition, but the cover was a little cacked out, a little. I don't know if you could see that, but it's got some, some creases or something to it. But it was worse. I actually ironed it. I tried ironing it, and I got it a lot better than what it was, but still not perfect. That's a great record. Mama's Boys, Needle in the Groove, 12-inch single with Don't Tell Mama and If the Kids Are United on the flip side. I always like the Mama's Boys. An upgraded Rainbow Rising. This thing's like stone dead mint. Really cool. And lastly, Baby. The Baby's on the Edge. I think I have all the Baby stuff now. Not a huge fan, but figured now I got them all, I think. Now onto the Shady Dog stuff. Some of this stuff's upgrades. Cheers. Some of it I've never heard of before. First up is an upgrade of Razmanaz from Nazareth. Probably one of my favorite Nazareth records. I have this on CD, but I had a pretty beat up copy of it on vinyl, so I picked that up. One I never saw before, but I know it's common. Johnny Winter's About Blues. So that was another one where the cover was not great, but the vinyl's mint. A German import of Elvis's Rocker. It has all stuff on it from recorded between 1956 and 1957, and it's all its heavier, you know, the rock and roll stuff like Jailhouse Rock, Blue Suede Shoes, Tutti Frutti, Ready Teddy, Rip It Up, Shake, Rattle and Roll, Hound Dog. Killer German pressing on that one. I love the label. It's just like the black RCA label, and it's in mono. The thing's like mint, man. Look at that. It's a little dusty, but that's about it. Just needs a good cleaning. Actually, this light really picks up the dust on these. I was happy to get that. I have a lot of Elvis, but this is a cool one to get. I thought, definitely check that out for the old stuff. Band I never heard of, never saw this before. Features the guitar player John Cipollina from Quicksilver Messenger Service. And the band's called Copperhead. This was released on Edsel Records in 1973, I believe. This was really good. More than half of it I liked a lot. It's weird. It has almost like a vintage. The heavier stuff has like a vintage Kiss sound to it. Just that early 70s hard rock. Maybe not as heavy as Kiss, but it has that sound. And the singer reminds me of early Gene Simmons on some of it. There is some lighter tracks on here that I didn't care for, but definitely worth checking out if you can find it cheap. Another oldies I picked up was Eddie Cochran's 12 of the Best, or 12 of the Biggest Hits. This is the second pressing, I believe, of this. It is the mono. Might be first. I'm not 100%. I know it goes for a bit of coin now. I researched it. I always liked the Eddie Cochran's. I mean, he was one of the originators of the rock and roll from the 50s, but died young in a taxi cab accident in, I think, London, England or something. Definitely worth checking out. I found this cheap. I never saw this on vinyl before. I saw the second album, I think, on vinyl once. That's the first Danger record. I'm not a huge fan of this band, but I figured first time I've seen it out in the wild, so I figured I'd pick it up. But I haven't listened to this again. I might pop it on at some point. You never know when I'm in that 80s hair metal. One's kind of a blind buy. I never heard this before. I know I've seen it before, but I've never actually listened to it. It's Phantom, Rocker, and Slick. Basically Stray Cats with Earl Slick on guitar instead of Setzer. I would imagine it has that rockabilly feel, or like 50s rock feel, but this was like stone mint, man. All this stuff was really. So I'll be curious to check that out. This one, actually these next couple I found in the dollar bin at Shady Dog. One I didn't have yet, Blue Oyster Cult Secret Treaties. Has that killer astronomy track that Metallica covered. So I picked that up. And Johnny Winter Captured Live. This is an upgrade for me, original pressing. The one I have beat to shit, so it seems like all the old Johnny Winter always has that bad ring wear around it. I don't know, but this one's like mint. So I picked that up. Found a German pressing of AC/DC's Blow Up Your Video at Shady Dog. This came in with the stuff I got 3 weeks ago, like Stiff Upper Lip and Ball Breaker. Fly on the Wall was in that pile too. This I just skimmed over until I actually looked and saw it was the German pressing, so I just picked that up to add to the collection. Next up is T-Rex to see the best of T-Rex. I just thought this was a cool compilation. Really killer. And to finish off the Runaway stuff I picked up, and now the Runaways. Now I have all 4 studio albums. I was still debating on getting Live in Japan, but I let that go. A couple reissues I got at work. Well, I guess 2 reissues I got at work. The Hound Dog Taylor and the House Rockers. 180 gram vinyl, the first album. It has a bonus track, Look on Yonder's Wall. This is on Alligator, so I was happy to get this. Picked up, I think the last R.L. Burnside that I needed out of his later stuff, Bothered Mind. I was happy to get this. This is great. I listened to this just yesterday. Really killer. I love R.L. Burnside. And also found this at work too. This was released 180 gram vinyl, I think in March or something like that, and it's Sound Machine Groove. This is an album from like, I think 1980, 81, somewhere around there. Really, really good. And the vinyl on this is beautiful. And the covers, like the old school hard cardboard cover. It's a little bigger than your normal album covers, you know, size wise, I believe. I got a little bit, not too much. It sticks up a little bit, but just seems bigger. But it's like, you know, you can't bend this thing in half. It's awesome. Definitely check that out if you're into R.L. Burnside. And the last vinyl I picked up for this update is the new Megadeth. This has been getting torn apart on YouTube. People reviewing it. It's usually younger guys that, you know, they want Peace Sells for the 180th time. You're not going to get that with this record. I would put this record in, you know, like around Euthanasia or the one after that. It's actually one of my favorite Megadeth records, Cryptic Writings. I would put that somewhere in that, you know, put this somewhere in that vibe, I guess you could say. I think this album's really good. They do a killer version of Cold Sweat from Thin Lizzy to finish the album off. I did pick it up on CD. Best Buy exclusive. With the 3D, I don't know if you can see that, but it has a 3D cover. And 3 bonus tracks, All I Want, A House Divided, and Countdown to Extinction Live. I will tell you, the two studio bonus tracks on here, one of them I can't stand, and that's All I Want. That's just not, it's just a total throwaway song. The other one, A House Divided, I thought was really good. And the live track I haven't even listened to, but I've been listening to this album a lot lately. I'll show you the vinyl again. I just think it's been getting a bad rap on YouTube. Like I said, a lot of the younger kids, younger guys on YouTube that have been tearing it apart want Peace Sells or want the one with Holy Wars on it. Of course, their biggest album, I can't think of the name of it. whatever. Which is, it's a good record, but I've always been a fan of Megadeth from the first time I heard them, really, which was early 80s. I guess with Peace Sells. Cryptic Writings is one of my favorite Megadeth records. I don't know why. It's way more melodic than their normal stuff, or than their thrash stuff. I think the last album was thrashy, and it's just like you can only go to that well so many times before you have to change your sound up a little bit. The only bands that can get away with stuff like that are like AC/DC or who knows, maybe just AC/DC. They've written the same album 27 times, so. But as far as Super Collider goes, I think it's a great record. All you old school fans that like the thrash record, or thrash records, probably won't dig it. If you liked Euthanasia or Cryptic Writings, pick it up. It's a great record. But I think these young guys nowadays, like I said, they want Peace Sells or whatever the other album's called, the thrashier stuff. It's just, it gets tiresome after a while, but what are you gonna do? It's funny though, the people that review stuff online think they're so smart when it comes to reviewing other people's work. Most of the time they sound like assholes themselves when they're talking about it, or they make themselves sound stupider than they are. But anyway, that's enough of me ranting. Now onto the CDs. This one I was really disappointed with. I thought it was going to be really, really good. And that is Tracy Guns' League of Gentlemen. The first record it's called. It's on Shrapnel. Supposedly it was going to have like a 70s British or American blues. Alright, like I said, not a very good record. I was very disappointed with this album. I think the production sounds awful. It just sounds like muddy demo. I don't know. I'm really bummed though. It just... so disappointed. I thought this was going to be really killer, but I gotta give it another spin. But anyway, next up, Airborne, Black Dog Barking. Probably one of my favorite albums so far this year, other than the Monster Truck album and the Megadeth. This album kicks ass. This is a really good album. I just picked up the US one. The UK, I think the German one has like 2 or 3 extra songs on it, but it was like $20 or some shit like that. I got this at work for like $7 something, so maybe eventually I'll pick up the other one. But the vinyl on this was like $30 my cost, and I was like, screw that, I'm not paying that much for it. So CD's the way to go. Next up, another great record, the new Black Sabbath 13. This has got the 3D cover. I think this is the limited one. I don't know. I know it is. It's got the 3 extra tracks on it. 2 disc set. Kind of a return to form for them. Really. End of the Beginning, God is Dead. What an amazing 2 tracks. The first 2 tracks. Really, really good record. I am going to purchase this on vinyl as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the 3 extra tracks on the vinyl, but really killer. If you like old school Sabbath, definitely check it out. It's really good. I was surprised. It's way better than I thought it was going to be. Next up, I got on a whim because Ace Frehley was on it. I got it for real cheap. Still don't know why I bought it, but Bret Michaels, Jamming with Friends. It's got a bunch of different people on here, like Jimmy Buffett, Joe Perry, members of Skinner, 38 Special, Ace Frehley, Michael Anthony, Loretta Lynn's on here. It's 20 songs. He does do some Poison shit, which he does on every one of his solo records. I thought it was like a rehash of some of this, a lot of the shit, but it's not. The production's great on this. I was surprised. Ace does a solo for the first track, Nothing But a Good Time. He has some rapper rapping over it, which sucked. But then he put it as a bonus track without the rapper. That's so much better. Frehley rips a killer solo on it, so it was cool to get. Next up, my buddy's band from years and years ago. They used to open for Britny Fox. Mike from Britney produced a lot of this stuff. They finally found their way to CD via F&A Records, who did the Dirty Look stuff. And that's my buddy Tom. Tom was a drummer for this band, Tommy Stewart. The band's Christine. F&A put out two CDs of stuff. The one is the later stuff from '90 that they recorded with Michael Kelly Smith. If you like Britny Fox, AC/DC, definitely check this out. This one's called Resurrection, and the other one's called Red, White, Black, and Blue. And this has got earlier demo stuff, probably from like '89. I think there's 20 songs on here, something like that. There is 14 songs on this one. If you like that Philly sound, like Britny Fox, Cinderella, that kind of vibe, definitely check them out. Look at that picture. That's Tom right there. But I've been waiting for years for them to do it. We had talked about it years and years ago when I was at Paris Records to release some stuff. Never happened. So I was really happy that they finally, Tom emailed me about 6 months ago and said that they were working on something to do. He didn't tell me the label, but they were working on putting these things out, and they're finally out. FNArecords.com, I guess it is, or .net. Definitely check them out. They have samples on the website. You can go check it out too. Next up, I was debating on getting this one too, but this was, cheap enough through work. It was only like, I don't know, $5 or something. And that's the new Skid Row United World Rebellion Chapter 1. It's pretty good. It's kind of old school sounding, I guess, heavy, which is good. I like the last two records they did, some of the last two records they did, so it was cool to hear it. I know the whole reunion's inevitable. It's going to happen at some point with Sebastian Bach. I really believe that, but we'll see. But apparently this is chapter 1 of a 3-chapter set. They're going to do 3 different EPs. The European one has 2 bonus tracks on it, which are covers. I think Easy O, Fire Fire, and Judas Priest's United. So I might try and grab that at some point. I like it enough to hear those other tunes. And lastly, I got the brand new solo album from Eddie Spaghetti from the Super Suckers. This is called The Value of Nothing. This is his 4th solo album, but his first that doesn't contain any covers. He wrote everything on here, which usually his other 3 solo albums, about 3/4 of it was his, and the other quarter of it was, cover tunes, which is fine. I don't care. But for some reason, he decided not to put any covers on this record. This record's fantastic. It's got a bit of country to it. You could tell it's some of the stuff the Super Suckers could have done. Could do without the acoustic shit, and they rock it out. But If Anyone Got the Balls is a great track on here. Fucking With My Head's unbelievable. It's definitely a Super Suckers tune. I could see them doing that on the next Super Suckers record. People Are Shit is great. They actually track 10 is a Super Suckers too. When I Go, I'm Gone. Slow acoustic version that I thought was fantastic, and Waste of Time, I think, is the first single. It's fantastic. Definitely check that out. I actually ordered one on vinyl. I should have that this week, but like I said, that's about it for this update. Like I said, I'll be going in a couple weeks, traveling to do some record buying down the shore. Usually when the kids are at the pool with the wife, I'm out buying records somewhere. So hopefully, I got a load of shit last year, if you remember, or if you didn't, go back and check. Like I think it was a July 16th update or something like that. But I don't know if I'll be doing an update between now and then. I'm hoping to. I really don't have a lot of stuff coming in. I got a few things coming in at work, so I might do a quick update just to kind of blow it out before I get back from vacation. But I guess that's about it. Anyway, I got a ton of new subscribers again. I really appreciate everybody subscribing. I try and subscribe to them when they subscribe to me, if they have videos up or whatnot. But yeah, thanks again. Thanks everybody for watching. I have a lot of fun doing these videos. Sorry it's been so long since my last one. I think I said 3 weeks or so. But hopefully this video wasn't too long. I bet you it was, but what are you gonna do? So anyway, thanks again for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see y'all real soon. Peace.